Hey there. So today I decided I'm going to make a chicken and sausage gumbo since it's the right weather for it. And I actually got some chicken. Not only did I get a whole chicken, but I got some Cornish hens. So I'm going to use those. 2 Cornish hens. And first, I'm just going to break this video up into pieces to kind of show my steps of making gumbo. Normally this particular gumbo recipe takes 6 hours, so I may be able to shorten it. I'll see, because we already have some broth made, so I think it's going to be a lot shorter. So to start with, I'm really tired too, so after last night we went out and I could use a nap, but I'm going to make this gumbo because I'm craving it, and here we go. So here are the 2 Cornish hens that I actually cut in half and seasoned them with salt, black pepper, and cayenne. And I have my big iron Dutch oven skillet right here heating up. And I'm only going to put a tiny bit of oil. I think I'm going to go ahead and use avocado oil. You can use really anything. I try to stay away from vegetable oil, which is soybean oil. It's usually GMO, not to mention the process that it's made with. But I also have pure sunflower oil, which the process could be still not the best, but it is imported and it is also non-GMO. So those 2 factors are huge. It's imported from Italy. So I could start with that anyone just to kind of wet my pan a bit.
My girl was going on a date with this guy who showed up with a Scarlet A and an army helmet.
And it should be nice and hot already. Even the top of it is getting hot. You can see the smoke already. I have it on medium. So I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces of chicken down in there and start to brown them. I'm going to season the other side. No, I don't know if you can see. Alright, so those are in there. What I'll do now is season them on this side with the salt, black pepper, and cayenne. And let them brown on all sides. Turn them over. And once they're nice and brown, not all the way cooked, then I will remove them from the pan and then I'll get back on the video and take it from there. Thank you. Okay, so I browned the chicken, the Cornish hens, and as you can see, those are nice and brown. I pulled them out of the pot, and there's a couple drippings in here. This is not the grease from the chicken. This is more oil. I put the sunflower oil into the pot because I'm going to start my roux. And roux consists of oil and flour, and it's pretty much burnt flour. Now, being that we try to follow a gluten-free diet, even though we're not really sensitive, though, I just try to avoid most regular wheat flour as much as possible and most not GMO foods as possible. This oil is non-GMO. It's the sunflower oil, and I'm also going to use Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 gluten-free baking flour instead of regular flour. So I put a little bit of flour in here already. I'm sorry, oil. And now I'm going to add some flour. And roux is a pretty sensitive, and this pan is pretty hot, so you're going to turn it, you're going to see that it turns brown pretty quick. But it takes probably a good half a cup of roux to make as much gumbo that we're going to make. And so that means probably more than that, but That means I need about 1/4 cup of oil and 1/4 cup of flour. So I'm just eyeing it. You're welcome to measure. But notice with the hot iron skillet, it's going to start to turn brown. But you have to constantly stir it. So this is how you make a roux. Wooden spoon, scraping the bottom. Constantly stir it because it will burn. And if once it burns, it will taste pretty horrible. So it can be a lot of work. So you may stay in here for a few minutes stirring, keeping it from burning. 20 minutes. And since this pan is so hot, it's actually going faster than usual. And it can get smoky if it's more on the hotter side. I'm going to turn a fan on. But what we're trying to accomplish is a roux that is the color of chocolate is what I go for. Now, I prefer dark chocolate to eat, but I don't want it as dark chocolate. I'm going to go for a milk chocolate color. Because once it reaches that color, I'm going to add the vegetables and it's going to continue to cook, so it's going to get a little darker once I stop. So I allow for a little leeway. Some people like it the color of peanut butter. We prefer the color of chocolate. And see how that's a good thickness, but I think I want it more thick, so I'm going to add a little more flour. Chris just opened the door because of the smoke. Alright, we got the roux. It is nice and chocolate brown color. And now I've chopped most of my vegetables and I'm going to add them to the roux, the hot roux. So they're going to sear. I also cut up some of the spicy andouille sausage into really small pieces. And later I'm going to add some sliced sausage. So here I have onion, celery, green bell pepper, but I had some leftover orange bell pepper, so I threw that in there as well. And I have a couple different kinds of andouille sausage chopped up small here. I do need to add more onion, so I'm going to chop that up in a minute. Just got a brown one there. So I'm going to add that too. But for now, this is going in the roux, and here it goes. Sizzle. Alright, I mixed all that up in here in the roux. I need to add a few more onions. I just used like a half an onion I had left over, so I'm going to cut one more onion, throw that in there. I will add a little bit more salt and some pepper. I'm going to hesitate on the cayenne because I did put some on the chicken already, and one of the sausages are really spicy, so I'm gonna wait to add more cayenne till later for taste. All right, I'll be back after these onions and veggies wilt and cook down a bit.
I told Rob that.
Alright, I wanted to share with you the types of sausage I have. We try to get some decent sausage from Louisiana when we go. But, yeah. By the way, here's the roux. The veggies with the roux and some of the sausage cooking down inside. Notice how the roux got a lot darker, so that's why I always try to cut it off just before it reaches the color I want. But that's okay, it'll all even out at the end.
Yeah, that's good.
And so 2 sausages I ended up finding at Publix because we don't have any stocked up from Louisiana. You have the Adele's, And I like his brand and ingredients because they are not full of crap. I don't know if you can see that. There's no nitrates. Where's my thing? Okay, there it is. Anyways, only pure ingredients. I did find this one, which is ironically from my hometown, or very near my hometown, and it's pretty decent. It's actually spicier than the Adele's, and though it has a little bit of the hydrolyzed soy protein, which I try to. Hi. So I am adding broth to the pot with the sauteed vegetables and roux and the sausage. The sausage I cooked earlier. So I've got some duck broth, delicious duck broth here. It was frozen and I just kind of defrosted it real quick in the microwave. I can take that, I can leave the fat out or put it in. It doesn't matter. There's not much in there, so I'm not worried about it. But let's see if it all gets out of here. I might have to defrost it some more. There it goes. I have more in the microwave. We've got slush. I'm gonna turn the heat up and get this defrosted a little more. Yeah, of course that's bringing the temp down, but we'll bring it right back up. And I think I'll add a little bit of water to that as well, just to kind of make more.
Mommy, I did a backflip.
You did?
Yeah, I'll show you. Watch.
Whoa! Mainly because this duck broth that we made is pretty concentrated. It's not. It is pretty concentrated, so a lot of times I'll use some of our broth. I'll cut it with water. Of course, it's stronger and better straight, but if I need more, it's not going to hurt to cut it with water. Sure. I don't have any parsley. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil. It might take a little bit because I put some cold stuff. Yes. And just so you know, I have a pot of chicken broth getting started right here. It was a smaller chicken, so the bones are underneath. They aren't. We got some chicken feet and the chicken neck that we had cooked in the pan. We roasted this chicken and ate all the meat off of it. Alright, so this is coming to a boil, and earlier, normally we make chicken in advance, boil a whole chicken to make the broth for the gumbo, but we've had chicken broth stocked and duck broth stocked, so we haven't. I got these Cornish hens, so I decided to brown them, and instead of boiling them to cook, I'm going to add them back into now what's boiling with the roux and the veggies. I put two back in here already. I'm gonna simmer it, bring it to a simmer. I'm gonna put the other two in it. 2 halves. These were 2 Cornish hens. So that way these simmer along with the melding of all the juices together. Alright, so I'm going to let that simmer for an hour. Hour and a half maybe. Until it's all good to go together. And then after that, the chicken will already be in there, so we can either choose to debone the chicken and then add the sausage and leave the chicken meat in there, or we can keep the chickens whole like that. I think I'm going to debone them. Alright? See you soon.